All right, well, anyways, welcome to Season 5, Episode 2, Twilight Meadow. Now, this one's gonna be pretty interesting, because I think I'm gonna start with filling the whole thing with the dark blue color. I think that'll be kind of spicy, because not a normal start to a Bob Ross painting, so we're kind of getting a little crazy already, right off the bat. One is an Isaac reference, the other one is also an Isaac reference. That's actually true, if you think about it. It really is. So let's get it. A little bit of this. A little bit of this going. You know how we do things out here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do anything after this. I don't know. Should I stream anything other than this today? I still have Skittle in the household here. Skittle's just upstairs vibing. They're like, I'm gonna go just lay down for a little bit. Cause they woke up early to do a thing on my computer. Wait, can this be for later? Please hold. Like a Pokemon to draw off a memory. Horsey. Yeah, I could do that later, I think. I think that could be done. Damn. The Horsey from G, huh? Also, I changed that so it can only be redeemed once a stream, because I was like, you know, I'm not trying to sit here and do like 8 or something if it came to that, you know. Maybe if I ever change it so it's like if it's paid or something. I thought about that. Maybe someday I'll do that. I don't know. But I'll do it. We can do that later. Also, I realize, I don't know if you're listening still, Skittle. Maybe if I just talk loud enough, Skittle will hear me from upstairs. But I realized at one point, and by at one point, I mean like 20 minutes ago while I was brushing my teeth. But when Prack and David were here on the weekend, I was like, damn, we should have played Kirby Air Ride. That would have been lit if we played Kirby Air Ride. Like, it just occurred to me. Like, damn, that would have been a good idea if we did that. Hey, Justin, your name is white for me for some reason instead of your multicolored name to show off your Twitch partner high status. We also didn't play Drunk Kirby 64 Frog Hop. I know, it's so sad. Whatever that minigame's actually called, I just call it the Blue Bob jumping minigame. The Kirby 64 jumping minigame. Twitch partner, as you just pay for it, I'm pretty sure on 7TV by subscribing to 7TV, I think is what it is. How was your weekend, Justin? Also, y'all finally finished Avatar, aka like Cats and Blue Bob did, I think. What was it? Only Cats and Blue Bob doing their first watch through Avatar? They both really liked it, yeah. Especially like the ending, like the, you know, the whole final Agni Kai. Oh, that stuff goes hard. Especially like the music going on there too. I feel like I don't remember it specifically, but I remember like that's the whole scene, like the animation, the mood, the music. It's all really good. They got everything right there. I'll always say, I think in Avatar, I think Zuko is the most interesting character in my opinion. He's hype. I always appreciated that he was written in a way that wasn't just, I'm the bad guy, I'm mean just because I have to for the story. It's like he didn't even like if things went different for him, he wouldn't even have been a bad guy. But circumstances kind of like forced him to be a bad guy at the start. Unfortunately. So also you guys are gonna watch Korra, that's it. Yeah. Korra definitely worth the watch. Definitely unfortunate. Like I was going on the other night about like about Wind Waker. Just how Wind Waker, like how much better Wind Waker could have been if it was given more time. Like how Korra would have been a lot better if they were given like proper, like if they were just allowed like the full amount of time, like the full season, since originally I was like, oh, we might not get more than one season, so let's make sure we can finish it up in one season. Like, super unfortunate. Is banishment set him on the right track? Yeah. Season 2 is a mess. Season 2 was a bit of a mess. It had the whole thing with like, what's his name? Avatar Wong? It's something like that. Like the first Avatar. When you're in like the flashback mode for like a whole episode or something. But it has that really cool art style. I thought that was hype. Like they had a really neat art style. That's what I remember about that. I'll still never understand their decision making behind, you know, they had the whole thing. I guess Korra spoilers in case anybody's doesn't hasn't seen Korra, but I don't understand why they did the whole thing of like, oh, like whatever the villain was of that part, who was like the evil avatar thingy, how it like killed Korra's connections to the previous avatars, aka the relevant thing being killing her connection to Aang, which is, you know, that's what everybody cared about, obviously. Seeing more of Aang, because crazy. I don't need to explain that. And they like never bring him back. It's like, I would like, I get like the whole killing her connections, but I thought there was like a whole thing with like, oh, you know, getting the connections back. Cause it's like, wouldn't the writers know that we want to be seeing adult Aang, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna get now in like a future or a soon to be Avatar series, a new series or movies. So that I don't understand that writing, why they did that. That will never make sense to me. It's a, yeah, I don't know. I guess they didn't want to show too much adult Aang and just focus on Korra. Maybe. But also in the same vein, you know how like they had like, you know, original characters or characters from like Last Airbender show up, like Toph, Katara, and Zuko. I feel like Toph was like the only one that they really like did much with. It's been a while since I've seen Korra and Avatar, Last Airbender, but I feel like they like brought back Zuko and he like did like nothing. And then they had Katara there in like the first episode. I guess maybe just meant to be more of like a pointer, is like, yo, I know that guy. But it's like, damn, I want more. Yo, Shadow Fox. Aang is dead and Korra sealed the spirits at the end, therefore they can't be a new avatar. Did they seal the spirit? Honestly, I don't really remember the ending super well of Korra, high key. How you doing, Shadow Fox? They're all old as fuck. Yeah, it's true. They are. But still. Well, if we watch Korra, crazy, I know. Katara's there after season 3 and 4 when she's helping Korra walk again? I don't remember that at all, honestly. I high-key don't remember that at all. One of the other things about Korra that was like very like weird to me was, I forget where it is exactly in the story. I think it's somewhere in the middle of season 2, I think, when they're in one of the water tribe areas, I think. I think it's the southern water tribe, I think. And there's like talks for like multiple episodes of like, there's a war gonna happen, like a war's gonna happen, we need to blah 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 blah, and then it just never happens. Like, it just doesn't happen, and it's like, okay, what was that about? It was like kind of in the midst of like Bolin like being in like kind of like cahoots with those like two sisters who were, I think, kind of like villains, but not really. I don't really remember because it's been a while, and I was like, what's going on here? If you know what I'm talking about, then hope this helps. I want to say it was season 2. I think it was. But I vividly remember like that whole thing, like them talking about like, oh, a war is gonna happen. And Owl, thank you for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Good morning. But I think that was part of the reason why Zuko showed up, because it's like, oh, we need to get like more troops or something for this thing. I think the bottom line of this is just like, you should give creative endeavors time to cook. That's the bottom line here. I thought Zuko showed up in season 4 when that Earth War was going on. I'm very certain Zuko showed up like early on and like before like the halfway point of Korra. I'm like very certain of that. I remember Toph, she was there towards the end. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. Time to rewatch it. This is where Pratt gets a new RuneScape character going and gets Thieving 99 again. You know, part of me was kind of watching Avatar with them when they were starting it, and then I kind of like just stopped watching. Just because I guess I just didn't like feel like keeping up with it. Especially like they already had a big group going on. I mean, hell, like even trying to like just get like Breaking Bad going with like just Skittle, Justin, and I, like that was like sometimes a bit of a troubling scenario. Usually it was like not too bad, but it's like, damn, they had like Blue Bob, Katz, Arma, Jacob, Aaron, maybe somebody else, or more people. That's like 5 people. Oh, Justin, 6. Like they had a group for that thing going. So it's like I guess I don't want to like add to it per se. The stream has become the Avatar talk session, Avatar talk show. All the get together messages in anime chat. Yeah, for real. For real. Never show you and watch. I always remember as a kid seeing, like, I definitely remember seeing random things of Avatar: The Last Airbender as a kid, but I Definitely don't remember back then actually like remembering much of it specifically. But it's like one of those things that like anybody who's seen it, they always just like they just like talk really good of it for good reason. It's always just crazy to me. It's like, damn, this is a Nickelodeon TV show. Oh, I was watching some video that was just talking about like some like one of the like Marvel like Avengers cartoons. It was like something like how Disney like ruined it, etc. And I think it was like an existing show, and then Disney acquired Marvel, and I guess like, you know, they had to, I guess Disney like was making changes to that series, and I think it was like whoever the director, writer, whatever, wanted to have it have more like of an overarching story. But then when Disney acquired it, they were like, we want it to be self-contained episodes, so kind of like dumbing it down a bit. Or like, imagine how tragic that it would have been like if something like that happened to Avatar. Or it's just like if it was just individual stories. Maybe it still would have been fine, but it wouldn't have had like the impact I feel like it does. I think it's also crazy that in Avatar, people straight up just die. Like, just no getting around it. People die in that shit. And it's like, damn. We killing in Nickelodeon now? Okay. Like, damn. You only watch books 3 and 4 of Korra. Those are coincidentally the best ones. I don't know if you know much of the other ones or like have like heard much about them. It's really tragic that like watching the ending of like book 1 of Korra, it's like very obvious like, okay, this is like just a byproduct of them not being allowed like the full amount of time, since allegedly it was like when they were making Korra, it was they didn't know if they were gonna be allowed multiple seasons or books, so they ended season 1 like in a way. It's like, okay, if this is like, if we're not allowed to make more after this, then it can like end on this. But then it was like season 1 ended or book 1 ended, and then they were like, yeah, you can have another season. And then after that, they weren't sure if they were going to get any more past that. So the same thing sort of happened. And then for 3 and 4, they were finally like, okay, yeah, you have like 2 more books to work with. So it's like, okay, now we can start cooking. But it's like the original series was like a success. Like, I don't know if like back then, like how well Avatar did. Like when Last Airbender was airing initially, like how good did it do, I wonder. But it's like, I'm surprised. Like, why not just like give them the time to do it? And if it really isn't doing good, I guess you could just cancel it if you really want to, which would also be a shitty way to go about it. But it's like, I don't understand like why not give them time to work on it, you know? It's really weird to me that they did them like that. I don't know. It super sucks, in my opinion. It's really unfortunate. So I was talking about this the other day. I forget it was when you and David were here, Prac, but how the whole thing with like Wind Waker. Yeah, I think it was like yesterday. Just how it's like instead of like Jaboon just giving you the pearl, like there was supposed to be a dungeon there. Ghost Ship was supposed to be a dungeon. Fire Mountain was supposed to be either a dungeon and or a town. There was supposed to be like 2 dungeons in Hyrule. Hyrule was supposed to be explorable. It's like there was supposed to be so much more in Wind Waker, and then for whatever reason it was like, nope, you have to hit this deadline, and a shit ton of dev time got cut off, and they weren't allowed to do everything they wanted, which is super lame in my opinion. Because Wind Waker is still really hype, but it's like, damn, like imagine what we could have had. Like, you know, the whole Triforce quest wouldn't exist because of that, and like that's definitely like a part that most people don't really care for in Wind Waker, which is understandable. Especially getting all the rupees, like as a casual, like I don't know, like how like your average like kid is going about getting all these rupees, like that must super blow if like you don't know like any like specific strats or anything. It's like, all right, I guess I'll go around and like cut grass or something. Like, I don't know for Wind Waker's case if it was like we have to meet like a holiday deadline or something or whatever. Because it's like whack thinking about how much content was allegedly cut from Wind Waker. Also, holy shit, Justin, are you ready for this one? And before Justin sends me the exact same thing I'm about to send him. I think I constantly broke pots and out of steel for hours. There's this one pot, at least it works in rando. I don't know if it works in the base game. But if you, it's like over where Savage Labyrinth is on Outset. If you like go past it down the cliff, there's like this little like ledge that has like this pot in it, and I think it has a silver rupee in it. And you can just keep playing like Song of Passing to like respawn it, and it'll like keep giving you the rupee over and over. So I think like in like some randos we've done where you have to decipher some charts. I think that's what I used to do for grinding rupees. I think Ghost Ship is like technically the optimal one where you like go to the end of Ghost Ship, get all the pots, and then you clip out of bounds and just like keep doing that over and over again. I never actually learned how to do that clip out of bounds, so I would always just like soft reset or like save and quit and then go back into Ghost Ship. But it's just like, damn. Honestly, yeah, same, Justin. That's a holy shit indeed. Yeah, right, Justin. And it's just like funny seeing those screenshots because it's like you couldn't like purposely like do that exactly. I feel like it's like you just like it just happens. Like you couldn't be like, I'm gonna make my eyebrow do this. Also, if it helps from our little Fortnite session last night, I did get Godzilla. I'm not done with it, and thankfully we have like a whole month. So I was like, damn, I legally have to get this. Like, imagine missing this. What's tonight? You off tonight, G? Maybe could, depending. I don't know what the plans are. But tell me why one of the quests I was doing was like, you have to do like 5,000 collective damage with assault rifles with headshots. And then like once you complete that, like the part 3 of that quest is like damage enemies with assault rifles, and it's like, why is the follow-up one the easier one? And it's like way like just way more simple. I don't understand why they did that. Doesn't make sense to me. You're off tonight, you're gonna drink? Y'all, shouts to how we got some birthday cake flavored Baileys, and we made milkshakes with the Baileys, vanilla ice cream, and just some like milk. Which the milk that David got, it was like extra protein. And I'm like, damn, we getting these protein Bailey's milkshakes. We're kind of getting out here, baby. Shit. Doesn't Bailey's have egg in it? I don't remember. I have no idea, honestly. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. It was pretty good though. I've never had like a spicy milkshake like that. I don't know. Maybe we could play some tonight. I don't know. See what we're trying to do. You have rum chata. Haven't had Bailey since 2016. Damn. I haven't had a rum chata in a long time. I think since like some GDQ probably. When was the last time I had a rum chata? I always have this vivid memory of one of my first GDQs where people were doing, it was rum chata and fireball, and people were saying, oh, if you mix them together it allegedly tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, apparently. I don't know if it does. I don't remember if I've even tried it or not. But I remember people were doing that. That's making me think about how when I went to that convention in downtown Toronto, like 2 years ago at this point, how there was just some person giving out little like small bottles of Fireball, and David and I were not gonna take one originally, but then like one of the people we were with, she grabbed like a bottle for us. So I was like, I don't know, it's kind of sus. Like, just some person on the street just giving these out for free. Like, I don't know. It ended up being okay. It was alright, but like, I was like, damn, that's kind of weird. But they were sealed. They were sealed. But it's just like, god damn, dude. That's whack. Yo, Hannah, what's up? How are you now? How are you now? You call out of work today? Let's go. I hope you're big chillin' now after that. Also, randomly, I've been watching like a bunch of Hell's Kitchen videos recently. You ever just, anybody else just do that randomly? Just been like in that mindset. Like, I was gonna go up to bed last night and then I just like watched like Hell's Kitchen videos for like an hour and I was like, whoops. Oopsie. I didn't think an hour was gonna pass. God damn. Yeah, that same convention with the Tokuyami that I got a picture with feels good. That's that guy. It was so hype that like when we like showed up at the convention, like, you know, we went down the elevator and like immediately I see him I was like, I have to take my opportunity right now. Because I think I saw that guy like one other time that day we were there. Because we were only there for that one day. But I was like, well, I can't not take this opportunity, you know? Yeah, I've been thinking about that, yeah, when Nick V was streaming like season 1, I think. I was into that. I was dedicated. I was like, I have to watch. I have to watch this, dude. I can't not watch. I was invested in watching. I did Z target him immediately. Went kind of hard. The guy's cosplay was pretty good. I think I've looked some up online. I've definitely seen some like pretty jank ones in comparison, but I could, you know, I've never tried making one myself or anything. So I can imagine how like difficult it probably is. I imagine it's not easy work. I always think it's crazy with cosplays. Anytime I've ever seen like a Samus cosplay, it's always like crazy, ridiculous looking. Like they always do a really good job with it. Are Samus cosplayers just built differently? Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, you told me about that recently. It's just like, damn, what's that? You draw? Oh, you know how to do makeup. Yes, those are the same skill, actually. Fun fact of the day. Those are indeed the same skill set. I mean, there's probably some overlap, but it's just like, bruh. I don't even know what somebody would like ask me about for like if I got somebody asked me to help them with makeup, like I don't know what the hell I'd tell them. And I'd be like, I don't know, just make it look natural, I guess. Like, I don't know. Lots of blending, yeah. Like, don't just like plop it on. Maybe if you're doing a cosplay and like the character you're cosplaying does do that, then it's like, all right, in that instance, go for it. But you know. You know, I've had makeup on once ever that I can remember in my life. And it was for when I was on the couch for that one Paper Mario run at SGDQ a long time ago. They put like a little bit of like, I don't know what it is specifically, but they put a little something on your face, I think just to like, I think maybe like make your face, I think, be less reflective of lights. I think is what it was. They didn't like do much really. I wonder if they still do that. Reconnection successful. Okay. Okay, we're back. All right. Test. We existent again. Okay, yeah, we are. Yeah, I don't even know if it was me or if it was Twitch exactly. Because the stream I have up, it did like, it buffered for like a second, but it kept going. So at least the OBS reconnected pretty quickly this time. Because I'll have it sometimes where in OBS, like the Twitch server or my internet or something will mess up and it disconnects me. And you know, my internet like is back online, but it just will not connect me again. And I'll definitely have had instances where it's like, oh, I have to go in and just completely close OBS or stop streaming entirely and start it again. Because the nice thing, this has been a feature for like a few years now on Twitch, but when your stream goes offline, there's like a bit of like a VOD protection thing, you could call it, where like it keeps your stream live even if you're offline. If I guess it like detects like your stream like went out like without you actually hitting the go offline button. So it keeps the VOD together. So now I don't have to like stitch together like two VODs. There's just gonna be that little bit of like a pause in there for a sec. Since before, it'd be like, oops, your internet went down at all. Okay, yep, that's a new VOD. So I'm glad that got changed at some point in time. Definitely a nice little feature that ideally you don't have to deal with, but, you know, inevitable that you'll have to deal with it. Yeah, I feel like once this big tree goes in on the left side here, that's when the painting's gonna start coming together. You just gotta wait. We just gotta wait it out, chat. But I was gonna say, G. Do you think you'll actually go through with doing makeup RTA tonight? Maybe you could do like mascara percent or something. Something hype. I have a bit of like this color here. And then we get a bit of this. I'm kind of moving. I'm kind of moving a little bit. Special effects for Halloween. Yeah, I definitely have never done anything like that other than, well, flashback to what I said earlier about only doing it for that GDQ thing. Maybe someday it'll happen again. I might, depending on your alcohol consumption and video gaming with the boys. That's valid. Depending on your Civ 6 with Ebo practice. Yeah, if you don't even have a 9-hour session of Civ 6, is it even worth playing? Honestly. I want like a bit of orange in here, and then we're gonna like kind of like dial it back a little bit. Just like a few traces of it. I'm already tracer. That's a definite sip of water for sure. Yeah, water's good, chat. Water's so good. Do y'all ever like know those people that were like, oh man, I hate drinking water. I don't like drinking water. Y'all ever know those people back in the day? That's like a definite like you are like 14 or below probably. But damn, water is lit, y'all. Water goes hard. The same peeps live off of energy drinks. Honestly, though, I can't. I've definitely said this many times. How like I just can't do energy drinks. Just a no-go. Non-negotiable. And definitely for the better. Yo, Shaggy, how are you now? Your day's been productive, so that's a major win. Let's go. I did a half-hour bike today on the indoor bike. That was pretty nice. That went pretty hard. It was definitely something I would refer as an enjoyable experience, I think. Alright, let's get this big tree in here. Let's get this thing going. We're gonna start with this. Let's just get the big brush. Yeah, you don't hear that one too often. Not too often we get to use that brush. Bike rides are cool, especially with some music and some tones. I assume I'm supposed to say tunes. Yeah, what I do when I do the indoor bike is there's like a little table because it's just like out in the kind of living room space where my dad like watches TV. So there's like his chair, the TV, and then the bike is just kind of there because our basement's kind of like messy AF right now, and it would be hype if we could put it down there. But he has like this little like table, so I'll just like bring my laptop down and just put my laptop on the table and I'll just watch something while I'm biking. And I'll usually have like a phone timer going as well, so I can like kind of keep track of like how long I've been biking for, because I've been kind of doing the habit of like I will go on the bike for like 5 minutes and then I'll like increase the tension like in like 5-minute increments, because it's just like a normal bike, just a normal bike you could take outside and bike, but it has like this attachment that allows it just to be stationary. It's really cool. Definitely a good product. But biking goes hard. I'm a fan, as some might say. And the best part is one of our neighbors just like back in October, November, he just gave it to us for free. He was just like, yeah, I don't really use it anymore. And I'm like, sick. Because like, you ever have that thing where it's like just kind of hard to go outside? Like, there's so many instances where I'm like, damn, like, it'd be hyped to go for like a walk or run right now, but just getting yourself to go outside can be difficult, especially with biking. Like, there are bike trails nearby me. Like, in town, there are some bike trails, but it's like by the time like I would get to a bike trail, like if I were to bike all the way down there, I don't know if I'd want to bike on the bike trail and have to bike uphill for like a while back home, or like drive the car down there and then bike ride on the trail or something. I don't know. Like, it'd be doable, but it's just like, it's just so much easier to just do it at home here. Exercise equipment is expensive, so lucky you got that for free. Yeah, I have no idea how much that like attachment is. It's cool that like you can adjust like the intensity, the tension of it. That is super fortunate. If it was just like no tension and that's it, it would still be fine. But like, definitely like the zero tension mode on it isn't super effective for me. Like, I definitely like, I use it to warm up. I use like the zero tension just to like get myself moving, I guess, instead of just going straight in. So full tension or like a high tension. It tends to be expensive. Like some weights you got, and the Olympic barbell have cost around $700, and that's just plates and the barbell. Yeah, gee. Yeah, weights are crazy expensive. It is ridiculous how expensive weights are. Those dumbbells, the adjustable kind that you can put in like, oh, I want the dumbbell to be 10 pounds, or I want to adjust it to be 30 pounds, whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure those like minimum are like $600 or something. Like, they are so expensive. Oh yeah, and allegedly that guy who gave us that indoor bike thing, allegedly he was gonna give us a treadmill also, but apparently I think it's like it's in their basement, I think, and he needs to like get his son over to help like bring it out or something. And I think they might be using it for a little bit longer still before we get it. So I don't know if we're gonna get that at any point soon. At any time soon. You don't have machines at your house, so you go to the gym. Yeah, I'm fortunate. I have an ab wheel, a pull-up bar, and the bike. And I have a yoga mat. I have 2 yoga mats actually, because Skittle got me a yoga mat, and then for Secret Santa, Carlos also got me a yoga mat. So it's like, I can do yoga with the boys now, you know? Which goes kind of hard. But I definitely mostly prefer like body weight stuff in general. I'm definitely like a more so a body weight exerciser. Definitely hits the vibes more for me usually. So I've never really been one for like heavy weights anyways. But it could be nice maybe to have like some like heavier dumbbells. Cause I guess the only dumbbells I have, they're 2 5-pound weights. So like they're not crazy heavy or anything. You can still do stuff with them, of course, but you know. But the pull-up bar definitely is like really... I think I've probably gotten like a decent bit of progress just from using the pull-up bar. I accidentally, not to worry anybody, but the like last week on like Wednesday or something, I like accidentally gave myself I think it's called like an exertion headache. I don't know if I just like accidentally like wasn't breathing properly or something or what, but I did like some pull-ups on the pull-up bar. I didn't feel strained at all, but like the back of like my neck and head was in like so much pain. It went away after like a little bit, like after like an hour-ish. It was definitely still like a little sore for the rest of the night, and like I think like when I woke up it was fine, but it was just like I've never experienced that before because I didn't feel like I went too hard or anything. So I guess I must have accidentally just like maybe like held my breath without noticing. So I think that experience is making me to try and be more aware of like, you know, actually actively breathing while exercising, because I think it's really easy to accidentally hold your breath. Which there's that whole thing, if y'all were there for a month ago-ish, 2 months ago when I was talking about that thing with my eye, it's possible that I could have been like exercising maybe and I just like held my breath or something, and I was like, oops, you popped a blood vessel accidentally. But it's okay now, and maybe it's for the better that happened. Just so like something I'm thinking about now. Yeah, I gotta be careful there, indeed. But we're okay. We're okay, chat. I just walk around for free. Thank God for living in a walkable area. Yeah, there's definitely lots of area around me, like where I can like go for a run or whatever. But like it's like I said earlier, like it's just sometimes hard to get myself to go outside, like high key. Where it's like using like the indoor bike, it's so much easier to just use the bike. Because it's so much lower commitment. But I've also heard like friends tell me that they prefer going to a gym because once they leave their house and go to the gym, they're like, okay, I have to work out now because I'm at the gym. Whereas like if they're at home, it's a lot easier to be like, oh well, you know, I'm just at home. I guess like the whole like discipline thing. And I totally get like people's mindset behind that of wanting to be like at a gym to exercise instead of doing it at home. Like I think that makes a lot of sense to me. I definitely get that. You live up north, it snows and it's all ice. Right, it's actually a pretty nice day today. It's only -2, so it's probably what, like 31 Fahrenheit or something, which is still it's cold. And the wind, it's always the wind. It's always the wind. Like on days up here when it's not very windy, it is way nicer during the winter than when it's windy. Because I can speak from like first-hand experience that the wind is the worst. If it didn't get so windy in the winter, it'd be way more tolerable. But it, unfortunately, usually in the winter, whenever it's cold, it's also windy, which makes it even colder. But like I've told this story before, how when I used to work at McDonald's, there was an era where I was like doing like the opening shifts at like 5 a.m., like 5:30 a.m. I'd have to get there at. And during the winter months, during those early morning hours of walking there, it was actually not that bad because it would be like cold, but it wouldn't be windy at that hour usually. So it was actually like kind of nice. It was also kind of weird because it was like, 5 a.m. so there's like nobody out basically. So it's just kind of like serene, very different. Community aspect, gym bros gassing you. Yeah, that's also the thing. Yeah, true with gyms. People having like their workout buddies, which I get that too. I mean, it's like for bouldering. Like I've never gone bouldering by myself. I think just because like it's more fun going with somebody, personally. And also it's like, I don't know, that's a long ways to go. Long ways to go by myself. And I would like to hope like your average stereotypical like gym bro is like not the normal of every person you see at a gym. They're probably around for sure, but I'm sure your average like gym goer is probably like, just a normal person, I would assume, hopefully. And I guess it would probably vary a lot depending on just the area. Just coincidentally what kind of people happen to be around, right? Even gym bros tend to be more normal than you think. Yeah, but I'm thinking of like the people that are the stereotypical like high school like just fucking like gym bully or something. Like I'm sure there's like a handful of those out there just existing. You're gonna cosplay a gym bro for the next few months? Oh shit, training arc. Are you gonna be like Midoriya at the start of My Hero, where you're like lugging around like trucks and like 1,000 pounds worth of like just junk and cleaning up a beach? That's what we should do. Next beach GDQ, we should clean a beach. Imagine how much fun that would be. Oh god, Max, hey. Good morning. How many vodka Red Bulls are we eating today? Don't worry, Max. You might get some Skittle content here and like towards the end of the painting. Skittle said they'd come down. Maybe towards the end. You clean parks as a volunteer, can confirm it's super fun. Oh yeah? That goes hard. Did you do it like as a group, or was it just like you just chilling? Damn, I hear that wind blowing. God damn. Spontal. None, it was bad for anxiety. Blubbers. Well, I hope you're chilling now. Can you two play It Takes Two? I'm pretty sure Skittles said at some point that they like didn't really want to play that game, I think. We'd have to reconfirm that though. Oh my god, I forgot. Not related to that, but when Prak and David were here on the weekend, I think it was Prak. He was like watching something just like upstairs on his phone, and I was like, "Is that Claire? Like Claire Savitz?" And it was just some, because I was looking at his phone from like the side, like I could see like his phone when I was looking at it. It was like that, and I just saw like some girl with like black hair, and she just conveniently had like this like light gray slash white like headband on, and I was like, "Is that Claire?" And I was like, "Oh no, that's just some random person." I was like, "Bruh." As a group around 90% of the time, that makes a lot more sense than if you were just to do it by yourself. So I feel like stuff like that, I usually like would think of it as like a group thing. A baking stream, that would go hard. That would go kind of hard. Unfortunately, I don't have a baking stream set up. The previous 2 times that we've been together, we have baked something, some kind of dessert. The first time was the cinnamon roll blondies, and then last time was the Rocky Road brownies from this cookie cook. It's like 100 cookies or whatever it's called, like this cookbook that Kendall got Skittle at some point. And both those recipes were from there. Which is funny because both the things we've made from the cookie cookbook are not cookies. But you know, association maybe. I think I wanted to make cinnamon rolls originally, and then Skittle's like, cinnamon rolls are a lot of work. And then we saw in that book there was cinnamon roll blondies. Which I'm pretty sure a blondie is just like a brownie, but it doesn't have cocoa in it. I think it's just what the difference is there. But they were really good. And the Rocky Road brownies were also really good that we made. It was also like, oh my god, we can use like this cookbook that Kendall got you. You tend to get very technical and very macro specific. Like for example, for baking, I always try to use a higher fat on the butter because it's better for baking. You do want to use some good ingredients. It's like what Skittle says. You want to make sure it's worth the calories, right? I always consider blondies like chocolate chip cookie batter in brownie form. What do you think of that, Skittle? Yeah, did I cook with this tree on the left side here? What do y'all think of that? Did I cook? How's it looking? How's it looking, OBS? It's looking not bad. Yeah, the blondie, because the cinnamon roll blondies, they also weren't overly sweet. Which I personally, in a dessert, I don't really like super sweet stuff. I like some sweetness, but I don't like things that are just like, like when like the corner of your jaw kind of hurts, like from it's so sweet / so sour. I don't like that. I like a good balance. Let's all make tiramisu at KGDQ. That'd be crazy. That's Kendall's wedding cake. That'd be kind of crazy, actually. You think it kind of ruins the baking product? It was just like doused in like sugar, and it's like the only thing you can taste is the sweetness. That's like same with spice. Like I don't like spicy stuff that is just spicy. Like, I like it when the flavor's good. It's like for like Frank's red hot sauce, I never really cared for it because it's like something with the flavor. I just like don't like it that much. I haven't had Frank's in a long time though. Maybe it's different now, but at least like I remember having it years ago. I just like didn't care for it. I definitely fuck with habanero for spice. I think habanero is pretty hype, especially because like when you have something that's habanero, it's usually actually spicy and not like weak spice. Like when we went to Burrito Boys, shouts to Burrito Boys at G. When we went to Burrito Boys last week, they have a habanero sauce now, and I was like, damn, this is actually spicy. Okay. Juan. Anyways, now that interference is out of the way. You're the opposite. The more spicy, the more taste it has. And again, I'm thinking maybe being Latino has something to do with it. Yeah, I don't know. I've definitely just had products that's like, this is just like spicy, but like there's no like flavor really here with it. It's just spice. That's it. Habanero goes well with sweetness. Shoutouts to mango habanero for real. Huge shoutouts to the mango habanero. Insane shoutouts to that. Yeah, TLDR habaneros go really hard, in my opinion. And it was hype, because at Burrito Boys, they have this pineapple hot sauce, which low-key, that the guy who made my burrito when we were there, he put a lot of it on, which feels really good, high-key. But when I would get it before, it wasn't ever that spicy. I was like, I mean, there's a little bit there, like, but it's not really like that much. But my burrito bowl, I got like the pineapple hot sauce, the habanero hot sauce, and jalapenos, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling the spice with this a little bit. The habanero hot sauce definitely was like actually hot for once. I was like, oh yeah. I'll definitely be getting that hot sauce whenever I go there again. Assuming they continue to have it. I don't know, I always headcanon that places around here, like, I always say they like white peopleify their spice, because I swear, like, sometimes when I go to Osmos, like I'll be like, yeah, can I get it hot? And they put like no hot sauce on it. Then like Prax Osmos, when he like sends pictures of it, they'll have like a bunch of the hot sauce on it. I'm like, damn. And then I feel like where I used to live in the college town years ago, when I got Osmos from there, I feel like they used to make that hella spicy. So I'm like, damn, is it just cause like where like the area that like they just make it less spicy, question mark? Or have I gotten adjusted to it? Like, has my tolerance just gotten better over the years? I don't know. I mean, I don't want that there. Oh yeah, seasoning, yeah, definitely. Gotta have that well-seasoned food, right? You gotta have that well-seasoned food. Yeah, usually when I'm cooking at home, I think I usually season it pretty well. I'm definitely not like, you know, like what you'll hear about some stereotypical white person cooking at home, where it's just like, oops, yep, they put nothing on their food. And it's just bland as hell. I'm thankful that's not me. I guess that's palettes for you, though. And I'll definitely hear, because there's that whole thing of like, oh, like, vegetables are terrible. Like yeah, kind of like stereotyping cartoons growing up. I was like, oh, Brussels sprouts and like broccoli are so bad. And I've heard some people say it's because like allegedly like our parents, like just a lot of parents, I guess, of our generation supposedly just like, you know, weren't very good at cooking vegetables. So like maybe that's where that like stereotype comes from. Especially because like I think, I mean, I definitely like most vegetables. I'm definitely a fan of a lot of vegetables, including broccoli. Broccoli is so hype. And anytime I've ever had Brussels sprouts, I'm usually like, yeah, these are pretty good. Honestly. People are afraid of salt. A little salt isn't gonna kill you. And it's like rather the opposite sometimes. Like you need salt at the same time. Because some people are like, oh yeah, you know. Which I guess there are people where it's like, oh, they need to avoid too much salt. But also, like, if you're not eating like many meals out slash like many like, you know, snack foods like, you know, like chips and such, I wonder how easy it is at home to consume too much salt, because I feel like, because I never have like chips and snack foods, for example. So like I wonder like how often, like, am I getting enough salt on average? I always wonder that one, since there's that balance with salt where it's like you don't want to have like too much salt, but then you also don't want to have too little salt. Always makes me wonder. I would eat every fruit and vegetable, even the durians. I've always heard durians taste really good. They just smell bad. I've never been in the presence of a durian, so I can't confirm or deny any accusations towards or against durians. That's just always what I've heard, that they smell great or smell terrible, but taste pretty good actually. As long as your brain and kidneys are functioning, your salt is balanced. Damn. So if you had too little or not, or way too much salt, your brain and kidneys would start malfunctioning or just start like not working right. Monka. Yeah, I feel like for somebody like me, like I assume I probably don't have to worry about my salt intake. On average, I feel like. You had someone like that last week? Oh my god. What do you do to them in that case? G goes and gets like the salt shaker. Alright. You're good now. Because I don't know, I would like to assume at least that usually probably like you're, you know, having too much salt in your diet is probably like mostly like a problem if it's like, oops, you're eating like McDonald's like daily or something like that, or it's like, oops, like you're constantly having like, you know, like have you ever seen the nutrition facts of like those gas station or corner store like sandwiches? Like I remember seeing a Reddit post about it like a few years back, and it was like this chicken sandwich that somebody would get from their corner store. I don't know how often they would get it, but they would get it, and they showed like the nutrition facts on it, and it was like 200% of like your daily amount of sodium or something like just absurd like that. It was like a ridiculous number. This all like kind of goes back to when there was that whole thing of my optometrist being like, "Oh, you have a little bit of like bleeding in your eye. You should get your blood pressure checked." I'm like, I would assume my blood pressure is fine, question mark. But I guess he wanted just to make sure as a precaution. But I was like, I'm very certain this is not a blood pressure thing. And I was like, lo and behold, yep, that was not a blood pressure thing. I feel like in general, as long as you're not eating out like all the time, and you know, eating out definitely is like, you know, some places are supposed to be like, you know, a little better for you than others. But as long as you're not going too crazy with it, you're probably fine, realistically. I think the weirdest thing is like how, you know, at fast food places, like getting a salad, it's like supposed to be the healthy option, but then like I'll always hear like that salads are actually some of like the worst things to get at fast food places just because of like the dressing with it that they include with it. And I guess like the like actual like salad greens can have like some kind of like preservative like chemical sprayed on it. If like you're getting like a salad at like McDonald's, for example. Which is just whack, honestly. It's like, damn. This all goes back to McDonald's being just terrible. If you're going to McDonald's, you're already looking for an excuse to eat there. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I'm gonna get a salad to be healthy. It's also like salads at restaurants are such a scam, in my opinion, of just how expensive they are. Salads and like spaghetti slash pasta at restaurants are like such a scam because they're like triple the price of like what you can make at home. And like when I remember having spaghetti at a restaurant, I don't even remember it being that great. It's like I could make this like basically the same at home, honestly. Like spaghetti is such a cheap thing to make at home. And usually when you get spaghetti, like at least at the places that I've had spaghetti at, like they don't usually give you like chicken and vegetables, for example, or like some kind of protein with it. It's usually just like noodles, sauce, and like maybe like meatballs or something. But it's like, damn, you know, like at home I could like, you know, have a bunch of like vegetables and like some chicken or whatever with it. And like they also give you like such like a little amount. And it's like, bruh, noodles are like so cheap. And I always feel like personally that eating out is like I want to get something that I couldn't make easily at home or I couldn't make as good at home, in my opinion. Like sushi, like, you know, I feel like making sushi at home is probably not a good idea unless you're like a sushi chef and you know like what you're doing or whatever and all that stuff. And there's also like the whole convenience thing, like pizza, you know. I remember the one time I've ever made pizza at home. It took so long to get the dough right. It took forever. I was like, oh my god, dude. I just remember the recipe that we were following for the dough. It was like, you know, put in X amount of ingredients for the dough. And I had to like double the amount of flour. Like I had to just keep adding flour to it because it was just like sticky and like runny. Like it took so long to get it to be like an actual like proper dough consistency. It was really obnoxious, low key to deal with. The pizza you made according to your friends was 10 times tastier and it was delicious, so you're glad they liked it at least. And it's also hype. Like, if you're making your own pizza, you can put whatever you want on it. You can put whatever you want on that thing. Shouts to weird pizza toppings. Like how the pizza place that I would go to during college, they had broccoli as a topping, which I thought was low-key actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. Which I think that's definitely in the realm of like kind of weirder pizza toppings personally. But I thought it was pretty good still. And it's like, you know, like having some vegetables on something like that, it makes you feel a little bit better about eating it in general. It's like, oh yeah, I'm at least having some vegetables with it. And instead of just like, yeah, I'm having my sausage ground beef pizza with quintuple cheese on it. Ah, damn, it's been a while since I've talked about this one, but one of the I think most people think of it as like a sin for food is those places that will like serve like a burger or like it's usually a burger whenever I would see it, and it's just completely drenched, dunked, soaked in like melted cheese. It looks, as someone who doesn't like cheese, it looks so nasty. I'm like, damn, you really made this burger and just like completely like ruined it by just like dumping it in cheese. Like, yes, I love 3 days worth of calories in one burger. Like, I remember like in like the like mid 2010s, I feel like I used to like always see that on like Facebook videos. Maybe it was like becoming like trendy back then or something. May as well call it two-sided pizza. On God, though. I would not trust a fast food place selling that in the first place. Oh, for salads, yeah. I definitely like read that big ass story in my head. Cause I've been busy rambling. Really, it's all about balance, for real. For real, though. Man, would y'all ever do those challenges where it's like those like, it's usually like spicy challenges where it's like you have to sign a waiver before like doing the challenge because it's like that spicy? I would definitely never do that. Definitely not for me. I don't know if anybody here is built like that though, for that kind of challenge. I am not built like that. That's for sure. But it's like, if it's that spicy, we need a waiver. Nuh-uh. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good on that one. I am so good on that one. Yeah, definitely having something too spicy can be like, yeah, not very hype. That's for sure. Hmm. Real though, Shaggy. Like I can eat something and I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit of spice. And then my dad will be like coughing, so it's like, damn, this is like way too spicy. Like he definitely has your average white person spice tolerance. It's kind of like just like interesting to see just like how much like better my spice tolerance is compared to his. And yeah, definitely don't push yourself to eat something too spicy. It's all about eating something good at the end of the day. It's just kind of like whiplash sometimes. Like I'm eating something and I'm like, yeah, it's not really that spicy. Then my dad's like, oh, that's way too spicy for me. I'm like, damn. Okay. All right. It's been an hour and a half on this painting. Yeah. I think I'm down to call this one done there. So I hope you like this one.